God, does he not have such a fabulous voice?
Nice memories, I'm losing my mind.
Wow. Wow. You can even see it in his face. Wow. Noam. Kia ora and welcome. My name's Zoe Stevie and I'm your vocal coach for today. We're going to be taking a look at Noam Bettan with Michelle. Noam is an outstanding vocalist and we're going to be taking a look at what is he up to with his vocal technique, how is he creating these sounds, and how can you create them. Let's just get straight to the video.
מישל זוהר עילה, אני באפלה, איך השארת אותי בצל, כוכבת בלי תהילה, משוגעת גדולה, אני קם ונופל, או מישל.
Oh wow, he is such a fantastic vocalist. We have a thick vocal fold or a chest voice sign. We're on the B flat 3 there, which is the B flat below middle C. This is definitely where the male chest voice like loves to sit with those thick vocal folds. Let's just go back a little bit on that.
אני באפלה, איך השארת אותי בצל, כוכבת בלי תהילה, משוגעת גדולה, אני קם ונופל, או מישל, je ne sais plus quoi faire, tu étais ma lumière, Dieu, je t'en supplie, réveille-moi, j'ai plongé dans le noir.
You notice though that little bit of crackle kind of disappeared when he started speaking French as opposed to Hebrew. Very interesting the way that the vowel shape will also dictate the vocal fold closure. So he might have been playing that up a little bit more in the Hebrew there, but with the closed vowel shape and a little bit more back pressure coming from a slightly more closed mouth, that is going to help to close the vocal folds a little bit better in the French.
Tu étais ma lumière, Dieu, je t'en supplie, réveille-moi, j'ai plongé dans le noir, amène-moi de l'espoir, et ma mademoiselle.
I think it was also because he went to a slightly lighter vocal fold quality. At the beginning, let's just go back on that so you can hear the difference. We go, it was almost like he was like leaning into that chest voice or that thicker vocal fold, almost pressing them a little bit more together. And then he lightened up when he went into the French. That could also be due to the vowel positioning and the fact, and the kind of like natural timbre of like everybody's accent. You know, we do change pitch with our different languages.
איך השארת אותי בצל, כוכבת בלי תהילה, משוגעת גדולה, אני קם ונופל, או מישל, je ne sais plus quoi faire, tu étais ma lumière, Dieu, je t'en supplie.
You hear it almost sounds like a little bit lighter, right? Da, 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 da. We've got loads of thyroid tilt going on here, which is helping us, it makes it sound more sung. Main difference between speaking and singing is really thyroid tilt. The thyroid is here, the Adam's apple basically, and that tilts forward to elongate the vocal folds. And that's also why we're getting a hint of the vibrato at the end of the phrases.
Réveille-moi, j'ai plongé dans le noir, amène-moi de l'espoir. Ma mademoiselle. That little flicker of the vibrato there. We need thyroid tilt in order to bring on vibrato. Otherwise, you can honestly forget it. He's bringing it into the coloring technique at the end of the phrase. Now, there's lots of different ways that singers can kind of color the sound, but I like to suggest to singers that we use it as the coloring because we don't want to necessarily always we don't actually want to really get louder at the end of the phrase, but just adding on that vibrato can just add that little bit of extra, I don't want to say coloring in, but no other word is coming to mind. But that is also due to the fact that at the end of the phrase, we're kind of like running out of breath and we sort of there's this wonderful balance that goes on with the vocal fold closure. And that often is what brings on vibrato. Alors je danse avec les noms, tu me verras rire.
qu'un décor. J'ai crié, crié, crié. Michel, je te laisse partir. Adieu ma belle.
God, does he not have such a fabulous voice? You can hear he's really leaning into it. And honestly, there are just some singers who I have no idea how they are creating these sounds. Sometimes, they just create them and we go like, yeah, good. Do you want to use that? Cool. Yeah. Does it feel good? Awesome. I feel like this is one of those moments, yeah?
Rire à nouveau de ma douleur. J'étais qu'un décor.
That one. So we're dropping the back of the tongue, dropping the larynx a little bit, allowing a bit of the constriction to come in, which is where we close the area above the vocal folds, which are called the false vocal folds. It's part of like the swallowing protection. So when we swallow, true vocal folds close, false vocal fold close, and the epiglottis comes down to protect our lungs. And so we can use it in singing as well to create that little bit of that crackle in the sound. And then he goes, crier, crier. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't speak French. And just again, thinning out the vocal folds. He hasn't leaned into it. So we're hearing this juxtaposition of this slightly scratchier sound and this clean sound, we will call it in singing. And that's technique. That's technique.
Je te laisse partir, adieu ma belle. Je te laisse partir, mais je t'aime. La reine des problèmes, Michel, 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 Michel. Aïe, 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 aïe.
And we saw the increase. Michel, Michel, Michel. I can't do what he's doing, okay? So no matter what I do, I'm not going to. So we've got this. When I do that, it's always going to go, and we don't want to be like a Michel. It's like a Louis Armstrong version of Michel. So you can see the increase in the pressure here on the neck. That's just showing us that there's a little bit more tension going on. Every singer needs to be able to manage their own tension. Tension is not bad, by the way, when it comes to singing. But this is where one-to-one singing lessons really come into play, because we want to be looking at what works for you, what is the sound you're trying to create, and actually how can you create that without coughing, without catching, without feeling like you running out of breath, or that you're squeezing in the chest, or that you're feeling like you're reaching there's so many different things that my singers tell me. They're like, Zoe, I feel like I'm reaching the top of my range. We don't want that for you. We want you to be able to hit the stratosphere and sing absolutely anything you want. And that's where you need one-to-one singing lessons. So you can apply in the description below, because this is highly technical and it's not just about a one and done tutorial video. Let's just watch it, because you can see this energy in the sound.
Michel, Michel. Aïe, 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 aïe. Aïe, 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 aïe. Walking down Florentine, ocean eyes memories. I'm losing my mind.
I have to admit, that's just something very attractive about that sound. It just sounds so good. I love singers. It doesn't matter who's singing. Very attracted to singers. Let's just watch that again.
Michel, Michel. Aïe, 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 aïe. Aïe, 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 aïe.
Okay, that's quite he's in a really comfortable part of his range, I think. There you can see the jaw moving along with the tongue. We don't necessarily want that to happen, but if it does happen, especially at a singer of Noam's ability, I mean, he's a professional singer, then we kind of just if it's not broke, don't try and fix it.
Walking down Florentine, ocean eyes memories. I'm losing my mind. An angel, but is it hell? Trapped in your carousel, round and round, under your spell, Michel.
Oh, gosh. So this is one of those situations where I'm not really 100% sure how this is being created. The only way that we would really know how this is being created if we actually stuck a camera down his nose and had a look at his vocal folds. But the way that I would teach a singer to bring on this sound is we would work on constriction. We've got that coming in, a little bit of the vocal fry, a little bit of the the pressure coming from above the vocal folds. And then we would play around with the timbre and the larynx height. I think this is kind of coupled with a darker timbre, which would be a slightly lower larynx position with thick vocal folds. You can see he's like going, pressing into the sound and then lightening up as he's going higher, allowing the vocal folds to thin.
Under your spell.
There we go. So, under your spell, into the thinner vocal folds there. This is what we really want when we're looking at singing. We're wanting to change between the colors.
Je te laisse partir, adieu ma belle. Je te laisse partir, mais je t'aime. La reine des problèmes, Michel, Michel.
So I think we're up on the B4 there, which is the B above middle C. So middle C is really where the male voice needs to do something different in order to go higher in the range. He's gone up into a head voice, so a thinner vocal voice. We can hear that change in the timbre there.
Je te laisse partir, mais je t'aime. La reine des problèmes, Michel, 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 Michel. Aïe, 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 aïe. Aïe, 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 aïe.
I think this did really, really well because it's just a really great song. It stays in your mind, right? Michel, Michel, Michel. Ay, 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 oh, oh, oh. You know, you kind of want to sing along when you're singing the song. Let's just go back on that.
Aïe, 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 aïe. ואולי בסוף יהיה
Oh, goodness me. So you could see, oh, that amount of sorrow and sadness in the sound. That's the thyroid tilt. That's exactly what we want, especially when we're going into these louder sections of the song. I see this so often in singers that they don't use enough thyroid tilt. They're like, Zoe, why doesn't it sound sung? Because you're not like crying enough. And that little, whatever he just did there at the end, they kind of like cry. When we're singing in this kind of situation where it's literally like you can let everything out on the table in this performance because it's the end of a huge lead up to the competition, then this is where you can kind of like almost give more to your performance. So sometimes we would even do things that maybe tickle the throat, maybe even cause us a little bit of pressure in the sound. And it's okay if we're doing this in like isolated incidences.
בסוף יהיה לנו טוב, מתפלל עלייך שתזכי לאור מנדימה לדימה יש מי שישמע יש מי שישמע Je te laisse partir, adieu ma belle
Wow, you can even see it in his face. Michel, bada, bada, bada. Now, the song is actually doodling around the same sort of vocal quality when we're higher up in the range. But do you notice the way that his energy has changed? He's come further forward on stage. The dancers are doing more. He's come out of that little bubble. The way that we're staging the song makes a huge difference to the way that we interpret the build in the song, but also his energy. You're seeing he's moving forward more. He's putting more bodily energy into it. Plays a huge role in in the audience's perception of the amount of effort going into the song. And it should really be rising throughout the song because the emotions are getting higher.
שתזכי לאור מנדימה לדימה יש מי שישמע יש מי שישמע Je te laisse partir, Adieu ma belle.
I mean, this is beautiful, the way that he is managing these effects as well as his, as well as his cleaner notes. When we're going down, he didn't need to do that, I don't think. Noam is like the ultimate professional singer. But what can happen, and I ask singers to do this as well when they're like belting higher in the range, when we go down, we're actually, without like actively doing it, the going down is the active part. We're actually pulling up through the pelvic floor and really helping to pull back on the ribs, so that we're holding them out a little bit. It really just helps us, honestly, with support. Hate that word in singing, but it really does. When we go down, again, it has a lot to do with the abdominal chain coming up here, right from the pelvic floor, actually, when we're singing.
Je te laisse partir, mais je vais la reine des problèmes.
So you see he flubbed a note, and that's so beautiful because this is the professional side. He then absolutely corrected it when he went, ba-da-ba-da. He's in a falsetto sound there, which is when the vocal folds actually go stiff. The arytenoids rock back, and with those stiff vocal folds, there's such a small amount of them touching. If we overcompensate with the breath pressure, that can cause the note to go a little bit out of tune. This is not for us to go like look at Noam's out of tune note, but I want you to see the way that he corrects it, also by lifting the cheeks.
Je te laisse partir, mais je vais la reine des problèmes. Oh, je t'aime, la reine des problèmes. Michel, 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 Michel. Thank you. תודה רבה. I love you all. עם ישראל חי.
So Michelle, you can see that there with that falsetto sound and the thinner vocal folds at the end of the song. Wow, Noam. Such a fantastic song. I have to admit, I was really disappointed that Delta didn't win. I love Bangaranga. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the song is really, really good. But I suppose in my heart of hearts, like honestly, when it comes down to it, she just like rocked my socks off. And I'm also a Delta, anyway, she just was absolutely fantastic. So Noam, the song was absolutely beautifully sung. You could hear it. You could see it. What a fantastic performance as well. And like relatively simple staging when you think about it, in terms of, like some of the others had like really crazy things going on, but really it made it all about the dancers. And I absolutely love that. He didn't really do a hell of a lot. The dancers were carrying a lot of that energy throughout that performance. He obviously brought it with his vocals and the fact that the song is just really fucking good. And I think that's why it came second. I know I'm going to get comments on this video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, because I wanted to say that every single cent that is earned from this video is going to be going towards Doctors Without Borders. I'm going to donate all of it to Doctors Without Borders to help those in need who are affected by these horrible things going on in the world. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for their support in watching this video. Watch it again, have it on repeat, because every single time you watch this video, that advertising money is going to go towards those who need it the most. That's all I'm going to say. Check out some more Eurovision up here, and I want to wish you the very best. Stay safe. You are incredible. Everyone can learn to sing, and my heart is going out to all of those affected by the current situation. And I'm going to do what I can, and all that I can do is to give money. So rewatch this video. Mwah. Lots of love.